Welcome to Success Path Academy. Following questions are on properties of matter and states of matter. These questions cover definitions, physical and chemical properties, changes of state, particle theory, and real-world examples. What is matter? Answer: anything that has mass and takes up space. What are the three main states of matter? Answer: solid, liquid, gas. What is a physical property? Answer: a characteristic that can be observed or measured without changing the substance. What is a chemical property? Answer: a characteristic that describes a substance's ability to change into a different substance. What is mass? Answer: the amount of matter in an object. What is volume? Answer: the amount of space an object takes up. What is density? Answer: mass divided by volume. What is solubility? Answer: the ability of a substance to dissolve in another substance. What is magnetism? Answer: the ability of a material to be attracted by a magnet. What is conductivity? Answer: the ability to transfer heat or electricity. What is the boiling point of water in Celsius? Answer: 100 degrees Celsius. What is the freezing point of water in Celsius? Answer: 0 degrees Celsius. What is the melting point? Answer: the temperature at which a solid becomes a liquid. What is the boiling point? Answer: the temperature at which a liquid becomes a gas. What is malleability? Answer: the ability to be hammered or rolled into sheets. What is ductility? Answer: the ability to be drawn into wires. What is a mixture? Answer: a combination of two or more substances that can be separated physically. What is a solution? Answer: a mixture where one substance dissolves in another. What is a solvent? Answer: the substance that does the dissolving in a solution. What is a solute? Answer: the substance that is dissolved in a solution. What is a compound? Answer: a substance made of two or more elements chemically combined. What is an element? Answer: a pure substance made of only one kind of atom. What is a heterogeneous mixture? Answer: a mixture where you can see the different parts. What is a homogeneous mixture? Answer: a mixture that looks the same throughout. What is filtration? Answer: a method to separate solids from liquids. What is evaporation? Answer: the process of a liquid turning into a gas. What is condensation? Answer: the process of a gas turning into a liquid. What is sublimation? Answer: the process of a solid turning directly into a gas. What is deposition? Answer: the process of a gas turning directly into a solid. What is a chemical change? Answer: a change that produces a new substance. What is a physical change? Answer: a change in appearance, not in chemical composition. Give an example of a chemical change. Answer: burning wood. Give an example of a physical change. Answer: melting ice. What is reactivity? Answer: the ability of a substance to undergo a chemical reaction. What is combustibility? Answer: the ability of a substance to burn. What is the difference between mass and weight? Answer: mass is the amount of matter, weight is the force of gravity on that mass. What is viscosity? Answer: a liquid's resistance to flow. What is a conductor? Answer: a material that allows heat or electricity to flow easily. What is an insulator? Answer: a material that does not conduct heat or electricity well. What is luster? Answer: how shiny a material is. What is hardness? Answer: how resistant a material is to being scratched. What is elasticity? Answer: the ability to return to original shape after being stretched. What is brittleness? Answer: the tendency to break or shatter easily. What is the law of conservation of mass? Answer: mass is not created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. What is a phase change? Answer: when matter changes from one state to another. What is the process of a liquid becoming a solid? Answer: freezing. What is the process of a solid becoming a liquid? Answer: melting. What is the process of a liquid becoming a gas? Answer: evaporation or boiling. What is the process of a gas becoming a liquid? Answer: condensation. What is the process of a solid becoming a gas? Answer: sublimation. Which state of matter has a fixed shape and volume? Answer: solid. Which state of matter has a fixed volume but not a fixed shape? Answer: liquid. Which state of matter has no fixed shape or volume? Answer: gas. What state of matter is ice? Answer: solid. What state of matter is water vapor? Answer: gas. What state of matter is milk? Answer: liquid. What state of matter is air? Answer: gas. What state of matter is a rock? Answer: solid. What state of matter is oxygen at room temperature? Answer: gas. What state of matter is honey? Answer: liquid. What state of matter is sand? Answer: solid. What state of matter is helium at room temperature? Answer: gas. What state of matter is butter at room temperature? Answer: solid. What state of matter is ketchup? Answer: liquid. What state of matter is fog? Answer: liquid, tiny droplets in air. What state of matter is dry ice? Answer: solid. What state of matter is lava? Answer: liquid. What happens to particles in a solid when heated? Answer: they vibrate faster. What happens to particles in a liquid when cooled? Answer: they move slower and may become a solid. What happens to particles in a gas when cooled? Answer: they slow down and may become a liquid. Which state of matter has the most energy? Answer: gas. Which state of matter has the least energy? Answer: solid. Which state of matter fills the shape and volume of its container? Answer: gas. Which state of matter only fills the shape but not the volume of its container? Answer: liquid. Which state of matter keeps its shape? Answer: solid. What is plasma? Answer: a state of matter with charged particles found in stars. Where can you find plasma on Earth? Answer: lightning, neon signs, plasma TVs. What is Brownian motion? Answer: the random movement of particles in a fluid. What is diffusion? Answer: the spreading of particles from high to low concentration. What is compressibility? Answer: the ability to be squeezed into a smaller volume. Which state of matter is most compressible? Answer: gas. Which state of matter is least compressible? Answer: solid. What is an example of a reversible change of state? Answer: melting and freezing of water. What is an example of an irreversible change? Answer: burning paper. What is the particle model of matter? Answer: the idea that all matter is made of small particles. What happens to the speed of particles as temperature increases? Answer: they move faster. What happens to the speed of particles as temperature decreases? Answer: they move slower. Why does ice float in water? Answer: it is less dense than liquid water. What is the process of water vapor turning into ice without becoming liquid first? Answer: deposition. What is the process of ice turning directly into water vapor? Answer: sublimation. What is the main difference between evaporation and boiling? Answer: evaporation happens at any temperature, boiling at a specific temperature. What is the main difference between a chemical and a physical change? Answer: chemical changes make new substances, physical changes do not. What is the main component of air? Answer: nitrogen. What is the main component of water? Answer: hydrogen and oxygen. What is the main difference between a solution and a mixture? Answer: solutions are homogeneous, mixtures can be heterogeneous. What happens to the boiling point of water at higher altitudes? Answer: it decreases. What happens to the freezing point of water if salt is added? Answer: it decreases. What is a colloid? Answer: a mixture where particles are dispersed but not dissolved. What is a suspension? Answer: a mixture where particles settle out over time. What is the Tyndall effect? Answer: scattering of light by particles in a colloid.